The house stood at the edge of town, a spectre against the dying light. Harrow House, they called it, a name whispered with fear and superstition. Its windows were dark, vacant eyes staring out at the world. The paint peeled from its walls like scabs, revealing the rotting wood beneath. A gnarled oak, its branches twisted and ancient, loomed over the house, its shadow a suffocating blanket. Harrow House had been empty for as long as anyone could remember. Some whispered of a family tragedy, a fire that consumed the inhabitants, their souls forever trapped within the charred timbers. Others spoke of darker things, ancient evils that lingered within its walls, preying on the living. Whatever the truth, the house remained a monument to fear and forgotten memories. The townsfolk avoided Harrow House. Children were warned to stay away, their innocent games never to encroach on its cursed grounds. Even the bravest soul wouldn't dare venture near after dark, when the shadows grew long and the wind carried whispers of unspeakable things. Stories circulated like wildfire, each more outlandish and terrifying than the last. Some told of strange lights emanating from the house at night, flickering like ghostly flames. Others swore they had heard the faint strains of music, mournful and haunting, drifting from its depths. There were even rumors of a figure, tall and gaunt, its eyes glowing red in the darkness, standing watch at the upstairs window. These tales, spun from fear and imagination, only served to reinforce the house's sinister reputation. Dr. Julian Bell, a renowned historian, scoffed at such superstitious nonsense. He had spent his entire career debunking myths and legends, priding himself on his rationality and adherence to the scientific method. An academic through and through, he believed in facts, in evidence, in the tangible remnants of the past. His office was filled with ancient artifacts, meticulously catalogued documents, and shelves upon shelves of historical texts. When he arrived in town, drawn by local legends of Harrow House, he saw not a haunted edifice, but a puzzle waiting to be solved. The stories of ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds were to him merely the result of overactive imaginations and local folklore. Armed with his notebooks, cameras, and an unyielding curiosity, he approached the house, undeterred by the town's warnings. The locals spoke in hushed tones about the house, their faces pale with fear, but Julian dismissed their tales as mere superstition. The air hung heavy with a strange stillness as he stepped onto the overgrown path. The once grand entrance was now choked with weeds and vines, nature reclaiming what had been abandoned. He could almost feel the weight of unseen eyes upon him, watching his every move. The sensation was unsettling, but he attributed it to the eerie atmosphere and his own heightened senses. Ignoring the prickling sensation on the back of his neck, he pressed on, drawn towards the house like a moth to a flickering flame. His determination to uncover the truth was stronger than any fear he might have felt. He placed his hand on the tarnished doorknob, cold and unyielding, and stepped inside. The door creaked open, revealing a dark, musty interior. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light that pierced the gloom, and the air was thick with the scent of decay and neglect. Julian's heart raced with a mix of excitement and trepidation as he crossed the threshold, ready to confront whatever secrets Harrow House held. The interior of Harrow House was shrouded in darkness and dust. The once grand mansion now stood as a testament to time's relentless march, its former glory buried beneath layers of neglect. Cobwebs hung from every corner, and the air was thick with the smell of decay. The walls, once adorned with elegant wallpaper, were now peeling and crumbling, revealing the bare bones of the house. Dr. Bell, undeterred, began his exploration, his flashlight cutting through the gloom like a beacon. Each step he took echoed through the empty halls, a reminder of the silence that had settled over the house. He meticulously documented each room, noting the crumbling wallpaper, the rotting furniture, and the eerie stillness that seemed to permeate every corner. The house was a labyrinth of forgotten memories, each room telling its own story of abandonment and decay, and the strange symbols etched into the floorboards. These symbols, worn and faded, hinted at a past shrouded in mystery, their meanings lost to time. It was on the second floor, in a dusty, forgotten room at the end of the hallway, that he found the door. This room, unlike the others, seemed to hold a different kind of silence, one that was almost palpable. It was an ordinary door made of dark wood and unremarkable, except for one chilling detail. It opened into nothing. The door stood as a stark contrast to the rest of the house, its presence both unsettling and intriguing. There was no landing, no staircase, just a gaping maw of inky blackness beyond the threshold. The darkness seemed to swallow the light from his flashlight, creating an abyss that defied explanation. A shiver ran down his spine, a primal fear he couldn't quite place. It was as if the door was a portal to another realm, one that defied the laws of nature and reality. He knew with unsettling certainty that he had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. This door, this anomaly, was unlike anything he had ever encountered. It was a mystery that beckoned him to explore further, yet warned him of the dangers that lay beyond. Dr. Bell stood there, at the threshold of the unknown, torn between his insatiable curiosity and the instinctual fear that gripped his heart. The door to nowhere was a puzzle, a challenge, and perhaps a gateway to secrets best left undiscovered. Driven by a thirst for knowledge that eclipsed his fear, Dr. Bell stepped through the door. He had spent years researching ancient texts and deciphering cryptic symbols, all leading to this moment. The door, hidden away in a forgotten corner of the world, was said to be a gateway to realms unknown. He expected to meet solid ground, perhaps a hidden room or a secret passage. His mind raced with possibilities, treasures, lost civilizations, or even answers to questions that had plagued humanity for centuries. Instead, he found himself enveloped in a swirling vortex of colors and light. It was as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling around him, pulling him into a dimension beyond his wildest dreams. He stumbled, his senses overwhelmed, and then he landed hard on cold, hard ground. The impact knocked the wind out of him, and for a moment he lay there, disoriented and gasping for breath. He looked around, his heart pounding in his chest. The air was thick with an unfamiliar scent, a mix of earth and something sweetly intoxicating. He was in a forest, but not like any he had ever seen before. The trees were ancient, their bark twisted and gnarled, as if they had witnessed the passage of countless eons. The trees stretched impossibly high, their leaves shimmering with an otherworldly glow. It was as if each leaf held a fragment of starlight, casting a gentle, ethereal light on the forest floor. Strange creatures, unlike anything he could have imagined, flitted through the undergrowth, their eyes glowing like embers in the twilight. They moved with a grace and speed that defied logic, leaving trails of luminescence in their wake. This was a place where the laws of nature seemed to bend and twist, a realm of impossible beauty and unsettling strangeness. Every sound, every sight was a testament to the wonders and dangers that lay hidden in this uncharted world. Dr. Bell knew he had crossed a threshold, stepping into a reality where the ordinary rules no longer applied. He felt a mix of awe and trepidation, realizing that his quest for knowledge had only just begun. The journey ahead was uncertain, but he was determined to uncover the secrets of this enigmatic realm, no matter the cost.